Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Well, I just want to start this episode off with fuck ICE and fuck Donald Trump and his whole regime. Let me just say Iran is killing it on the trolling. Have you seen that fucking Lego video? That shit is fucking hilarious. And it's sad because it's true. But anyway, back to the show. I wake up hungry. Not the kind of hunger I complain about. The kind that makes my hands shake. The kind that makes me think slow. I don't know how long I've been here. All I know is it's fucking cold. There's wet ground underneath me. The sound of rushing water nearby. The smell of rotting plants. And animals. I try to cry, but my throat doesn't work. And then I hear it. A low sound. Not human. Closer now. I don't understand what I'm hearing, but my body does. I'm about to die. Something's coming. I feel breath on my skin. Hot. Heavy. I close my eyes. That's it. But the teeth never come. Instead, I feel something rough drag across my face, again and again. And I open my eyes just enough to see it. Its eyes are glowing in the dim light. It's got dark and thick fur. A wolf. And instead of killing me, it lays down beside me. I don't understand it. I don't need to. Because right now, I'm not dead. And that's all that matters. Pause that scene. Because this right here, this is where Rome lies to you. You've seen the statue. You've seen the image. 2 babies under a wolf. It's one of the most famous origin stories in human history. But let's be real for a second. A wolf raising human infants? It's not impossible, but not likely. Here's what historians actually think. The word lupa in Latin, yeah, it means wolf, but it also means something else. A prostitute. A woman living on the margins. A woman nobody protects. So when ancient Romans said a lupa raised Romulus and Remus, there's a very real chance they weren't talking about an animal. They were talking about a woman, a human being, someone who took in 2 abandoned kids and kept them alive long enough for history to get dangerous. But Rome doesn't want that version, because Rome needs a myth. Rome needs destiny. Rome needs something bigger than survival. So they chose the wolf. Because a wolf makes it feel inevitable. A wolf makes it feel like Rome was always meant to exist. And that's the first lie. So let's go back. Before the river. Before the wolf. Before the hunger. You've got a man named Numitor. King of Alba Longa. Not Rome. Not yet. This is pre-Rome Italy. Small kingdoms. Hilltop settlements. Everyone watching everyone. Power is fragile. And Numitor loses it. His brother Amulus takes everything. Kills the male heirs. And then does something calculated. Something cold. He forces Numitor's daughter, Rhea Silvia, to become a Vestal virgin. That means no children, no bloodline, no threat. And that's the plan. Cut the line. End the claim. But here's where things get messy. Because Rhea Silvia ends up pregnant anyway. And not just pregnant. She claims the father is Mars, the god of war. Now let's be real. That's probably not what happened. More likely, Someone with power. Someone who knew she couldn't refuse. But saying Mars did it, that protects her. That gives the children status. That turns a problem into something divine. So now you've got twins, Romulus and Remus. And Amulius sees exactly what they are, a threat. So he orders them dead. Not publicly. No spectacle. Quiet. Disposable. Take them to the river. Let the current finish the job. No blood on his hands. Just water. The Tiber River. It's not calm. It's not gentle. It floods. It shifts. It swallows things whole. And the men sent to kill the twins? They don't want to do it. Not really. Because even in a brutal world, killing infants hits different. So they compromise. They place the twins in a basket. Push it into the water. You know? Some real Moses vibes. And they walk away. That's not mercy. That's distance. That's, I didn't do it with my own hands type of thinking. But the river doesn't cooperate. The basket doesn't disappear. It gets caught, dragged toward the bank, snagged in roots near the base of a hill. Later, that hill will be called Palatine. At this point, it's just another piece of land. Another place to die. Except they don't die. This is where the story splits. Version 1, the myth. A she-wolf finds the twins, feeds them, protects them, raises them. In version 2, more grounded, more human. A woman finds them. A woman who lives on the edge of society. Maybe a sex worker. Maybe just someone poor enough to be invisible. She takes them in, feeds them, keeps them alive. Either way, the result is the same. They survive. And survival in this world, that's everything. Eventually, a shepherd named Faustulus finds them. He takes them in and raises them as his own. And now we've got something dangerous. Not princes, not kings, but boys growing up hard. Boys who fight. Boys who lead. Boys who don't back down. Because they've already survived something most people don't. They should be dead. And they know it. Romulus and Remus grow up in a world that rewards violence. There's no police. No centralized control. If someone takes from you, you take it back. Or you lose everything. So they become fighters, leaders of small bands, raiders, protectors. Depends on who you ask. They're not noble. They're effective. And that matters more. Eventually the truth comes out. Their bloodline, their origin, who they really are. And suddenly, everything changes. Because now, they're not just survivors. They're heirs. They return to Alba Longa. They confront Amulius. And this part, this is not subtle. They kill him. They take back power, restore Numitor, their grandfather. And now they have a choice. Stay or build something new. They choose new. And that decision, that's the beginning of Rome. They pick a place near where they were found, near the river, near the hills. This is not a random decision. This location, it's strategic. Trade routes, defensible terrain, access to water. This is someone thinking beyond survival. This is someone thinking beyond power. But here's the problem. 2 leaders. 1 city. That doesn't work. So they do what people did back then. They look for signs. Omens. Who gets to rule? Romulus sees 12 birds. Remus sees 6. And arguments start immediately. Because it's not about birds. It's about control. It's about who decides what the city becomes. Romulus starts building. Marks out a boundary. A sacred line. This is the city. This is Rome. And Remus, he laughs. Steps over it. Mocks the wall. Mocks the idea. And in that moment, Romulus makes a decision. Not as a brother, not as a survivor, but as a founder. He kills him. I want you to let that sit for a second. Rome begins with a man killing his own brother over a line in the dirt and then justifying it. According to tradition, Romulus says something like this. This is what happens to anyone who crosses my walls. That's not grief. That's fucking policy. That's a fucking message. Rome is not built on unity. It's built on enforcement, on boundaries, on consequences. And from day one, violence is not a failure of the system. It is the system. And Romulus is now alone. King, founder, murderer. And he has a problem. You can't build a city with just one man. So he opens it up to everyone. Runaways, criminals, exiles, slaves, people with nowhere else to go. Rome becomes a refuge, but not in a soft way. In a, if you survive here, you belong here kind of way. And people come, because opportunity beats stability when you have nothing. But there's another problem. No women, no families, no future. So Romulus does something that sets the tone for Rome's expansion. He invites neighboring tribes to a festival, brings them in, feeds them, entertains them, and then they take the women by force. This is the abduction of the Sabine women. And yeah, that's exactly what it fucking sounds like. Kidnapping, violence, forced integration. And somehow, it works. Because those women become the bridge. They stop the war that follows. They force peace between their fathers and their new husbands. And Rome grows. Not cleanly, not ethically, but effectively. Let's strip this all the way down. Rome is not born as a shining city. It's not noble, and it's not pure. It's a settlement of outsiders, built by survivors, led by a man who killed his own brother, expanded through violence, stabilized through force. And here's the part people don't like to say out loud. That's exactly why it works. Because Rome doesn't pretend to be something it's not. It doesn't rely on tradition. It builds new ones. It doesn't inherit power. It takes it. And that mindset, that DNA, that's going to carry through everything that comes next. The Republic, the Empire, the wars, the collapse. It all starts right here. With a wolf, a lie, and a knife. You're standing on Palatine Hill. You're looking at a city that doesn't exist yet. Just dirt, wood, fire, and people trying to survive. There's no marble yet, no empire, no legacy. Just a man who made a choice, a line in the dirt, and a body beside it. And if you're paying attention, you already know how this ends. Because a city built on violence doesn't forget how to use it. That's it for part 1. Stay tuned for part 2. Thanks for supporting the show. If you like it, hit that follow. Share it with a friend.